So, FNaF 2, it's a game. One thing about it is that, it sucks. Yeah, so I don't particularly like FNaF 2. While I don't hate it as much as other people do, and I do believe there are a lot of redeeming aspects. However, they simply just do not outweigh the poor gameplay choices. So now that I've said I don't like it very much, I'm gonna 100% it. This challenge is much harder than FNaF 1. Instead of a cool and easy 7 nights, we now have 16. So, not very fun. This challenge took, and when I say this, I mean it. It took forever. So please, please, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Alright, boys. We're playing FNaF 2 this time. 100%ing FNaF 2. Let me let you in on a little secret, bro. FNaF 2 sucks. Well, I already know. I'm gonna be here. This is FNaF 2. And I'm gonna 100% it. So, I'm gonna be here for like a month. And I'm not excited. Because, yeah, that does not sound fun. Okay, so in the last video, I had enough time to show and explain every single night. However, if I do that this time, we're gonna be here for like an hour. So, I'm gonna quickly skip through the main 5 nights so we can talk about the more important nights. First of all, here's how the AI works. There is a system called time intervals. In my last video, I didn't specify, but every character in that game has a different time. In this game, however, they are all moved on 5-second intervals. At the interval, a movement opportunity occurs, then a random number is rolled between 1 and 20. Now, if the animatronic's random number is lower than their AI level, the animatronic will move, but if it isn't, then they won't. Right now, we only have 4 animatronics to deal with: Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, and the Puppet. There are 3 types of animatronics in this game: office animatronics, vent animatronics, and some other type. I don't really know. Basically, an office animatronic appears in the office, and you have a little reaction time to put on your mask. These animatronics are Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Toy Freddy. Vent animatronics appear in the vent blind spot and will leave after 5 seconds of the mask being on. These are Toy Chica, Mangle, Balloon Boy, and Toy Bonnie to an extent. Now, the other type of animatronics include Puppet, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Only the Puppet is important right now, and all I have to do is combat the Puppet is wind the music box. With that long monologue out of the way, I quickly beat the night. Alright, nice. Yippee! Let's go. Night 2 is fairly simple. Only 3 animatronics are present: Mangle, Balloon Boy, and Foxy. The Fooster are simple to deal with as they are both vent animatronics and don't need much explaining. Foxy, however, is different. Every 5 seconds, Foxy has a chance to move to your hallway. Once he's here, then he starts an attack timer. Now your flashlight can counter this. Once the counter reaches to 100 times the night number, Foxy's timer is reset. If his attack timer reaches 0, he will kill you. 2 very important things to know are the following. 1, Foxy's timer pauses if there's an animatronic in your office. And finally, Foxy can only kill you on his 5-second interval. This is huge for us, and I would beat night 2 very easily. Yippee! 5 AM, let's go. Oh, I got a mini game, I think. Oh no, this is just that one thing. Chica, calm down. Bonnie, knock it off. Chica, stop. Night 3 and onwards add the wizard animatronics, and pretty much removes the toys as their AI is decreased majorly for the rest of the nights. The wizard animatronics are all office animatronics, and they give you a very little time to put on your mask, about a second. However, without the toys, they are very easy to combat, and this night would be completed. Let's go, bro. That was light work. Night 3, easy. Oh. Chica, no. Golden Freddy, back away. Bonnie, stop. Chica, I said no. Golden Freddy, get away from me. Bonnie, stop. Please, Bonnie. Chica! Night 4, there's nothing new, so here's my completion. Yay, let's go. Night 4. And just kill me already. Just go ahead. Just do it. I ain't afraid of you. Let's go. And same with night 5. Let's go. Night 5 done. Let's go. Finally, the first 5 nights. Nice, bro. So we got the first 5 nights done. We have about like 11 more to go. Now that I had completed the main 5 nights and gotten my first star, the 6th night was unlocked.
Night 6, or as I like to call it, a pain in the ass. Night 6 brings back the within animatronics, except they are now put on steroids. The toy animatronics are also added to this night, and Golden Freddy for some reason. This night was incredibly challenging for me, and I died countless times. For some reason, I just could not figure out what I was doing wrong, and I kept dying to Foxy and Toy Bunny. Oh yeah, Toy Bunny. I guess it's time I talk about him. Toy Bunny is one of the reasons that I hate FNaF 2. Basically, earlier I said he was a vent animatronic. Not exactly. Toy Bunny is both. So Toy Bunny appears in your vent blind spot, but once you put on the mask, he starts a blackout. This doesn't seem too bad, but there's a catch. After another animatronic appears in your office, which takes about 5 seconds, Toy Bunny can still appear. Now his blackout is about 7 seconds, but he can randomly pick when to actually begin the blackout. This could be instant to an upwards of 8 damn seconds. This ruins runs constantly, as you will get killed by Foxy or the puppet if this occurs. That's why many people claim FNAF 2 is the most RNG based game in the FNAF series. However, I would end up completing Night 6 and I unlocked the custom night.
Yes, yes, oh my god, bro. That was the most clutch thing I've ever done. Holy, yo, yes, oh my god. Holy cow. Yo, oh my lord.
Now I'm going to start talking about all the challenges in FNAF 2, so if you just want to go see 1020 mode, go ahead and skip to this timestamp. If you want to stick around, that would help me tremendously, and I thank you so much. Enjoy the main part of the video. The first challenge preset was 420 mode. This was my first mode where the AI was maxed for the animatronics. This night included Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, all set at 20 AI. Now on this night, the puppet starts to be a big problem, as the music box now fully unwinds after a measly 16 seconds. My strategy for this night was simple. I wind the box until it's full, then I quickly drop my camera and equip my mask. If there's an animatronic there, then this is good because it'll get rid of them for a bit. Then I flash Foxy a few times and repeat. If there's not, I quickly flash Foxy a few times and repeat. Now this night was not bad and I beat it first try unlocking the 3rd star, but I was unfortunately far from done.
Oh, yay, first try, nice. Bruh, I'm fired, bruh.
The next challenge was new and shiny. This includes Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Toy Chica, Balloon Boy, and Mangle, all set at 20 AI. Now for some unknown reason, Foxy just appears even if you set him to 0. I researched it and it's not a bug, I guess it's just a part of the game. So technically Foxy is in all of these challenges. My strategy was an incredibly common one. All I did was check the left vent and right vent while flashing the hall. Then I winded the box and repeated. I once again completed it first try and unlocked the Toy Bonnie action figure.
Nice, first try again, let's go. Fire me again, boy.
My next and final challenge for the day was Double Trouble. This included Bonnie and Toy Bonnie, and Foxy for some reason, like this time it was actually intentional and it just makes no sense. My strategy this time was to wind up the box, then drop my monitor and putting on my mask fast. If Bonnie was there, then I just wait and check the right vent and then flash Foxy. But if he wasn't, I practically did the same thing. But if Toy Bonnie was in the vent, I just sucked it up and hoped Puppet or Foxy didn't kill me. But yeah, as you probably guessed, I beat this first try, which in turn rewarded me with the Bonnie plushie, and I decided I was done for the day.
Oh, nice, first try. Fire me again, boy.
The next day, I rose from my slumber and decided to play FNAF 2. My next challenge was Night of Misfits. This included Mangle, Balloon Boy, and Golden Freddy. And Foxy, of course. Mangle and BB were set to 20 AI, and Golden Freddy was set to 10. My strat was just to wind the box and then check the left vent and flash Foxy. The reason I wouldn't check the right vent was because you can just hear Mangle static, so it was a waste of time to check both if I didn't have to. Golden Freddy is pretty simple. He only has 2 things he can do. The first and most common is to just appear in your office. If he does, just slip on your mask and he's pretty much done. But the other thing is for him to appear in the hallway. If you flash him too many times while he's here, he will kill you. The reason this is annoying is because personally I just flash the hallway constantly, so that's a big risk for Golden Freddy. But with that being said, I once again quickly completed this night on my first try, and it's rewarded me with a very ugly Balloon Boy toy.
Yay, nice.
My next preset was called Foxy Foxy. As the name implies, we were doing with Foxy and Mangle, both set at 20 AI. My strategy was to literally just flash the hall as I can just hear Mangle static, so there wasn't a reason to check the light. Now this challenge was a bit different. The reason being was because since we weren't juggling so much to do, we had a lot of time to flash Foxy, which in turn meant my battery would decrease very, very fast. With me only having about a bar left by 4 AM. And because I didn't entirely understand Foxy at this time, I ended up getting my first death at around 2 AM. However, after watching an ambience tutorial to see what I was doing wrong, I understood and I needed to at least flash Foxy before putting on my mask. After learning this, I beat it my next attempt, which gave me a Foxy plushie, and I moved on to my next challenge.
Yes, bro. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. Holy cow. Bruh.
The next preset was called Ladies Night. It included Toy Chica, Chica, and Mangle, with all of them being at 20 AI. My strat was to wind, then throw my mask on and check the left vent and flash the hallway. This would deal with Chica and Foxy, and if I heard Mangle or saw Toy Chica, I would quickly just put on my mask. This night was super duper easy and I beat it first try, rewarding me with the Chica plushie.
Yay, let's go. Girl, stop firing me!
Next up was Freddy's Circus, which had Freddy, Toy Freddy, Balloon Boy, Foxy, and Golden Freddy. Freddy and Toy Freddy had 20 AI and the rest had 10. My shot for the night was quite literally the exact same as last night, and I completed this first try, earning the Freddy plush and moving on to the harder challenges.
Yay!
The next day brought my next challenge, Cupcake Challenge. This amped the difficulty by a large margin and included every single animatronic at 5 AI. My strategy was basically the same as night 6, checking left and to right while simultaneously flashing Foxy. Now, I still barely understood FNaF 2 and I had thought it was mostly skill, which, you know, I swear I'm not bragging, but I did have. I was very wrong though. I ended up dying around 2 AM. This is when I realized how stupid this game actually was. What happened was I dropped my monitor down to see Toy Freddy, so I quickly put my mask on. After the blackout had ended, I looked over and saw Toy Bonnie in my vent. Thinking I had time, I put my mask on, and as soon as I did, I saw the music box warning sign. So I realized I could not do anything, and I brought up the cameras to one the box, which resulted in my death. So the reason I did this was because there was a small chance that Toy Bonnie would just go away if you hit the cameras. That's what I was hoping would happen. With all being said, this was straight bull, and it showed me how these final nights were absolutely not going to be easy. The next attempt, I completed Cupcake Challenge, which gave me a cupcake and brought me to a much, much harder challenge.
Yes, bro. Cupcake Challenge. Let's go. One death. Bro.
Next was Fazbear Fever. This included all animatronics at 10 AI. I knew this challenge was going to be a lot more tough than the others, so before I began, I watched an ambience guide. Shout out to Ambience, he helped me so much. I knew I couldn't win by my do whatever the hell you want and hope it works strat, so I knew I needed a real strat. And I found the right vent cam strategy. It was simple. When the night starts, you wind until you hear the hallway ambience. Once this happens, you drop the camera, then put on your mask. If a blackout occurs, then the most important part begins. You must wait about 0.75 seconds after it ends to take off your mask. This will get rid of every left vent animatronic and Mangle. After this, you then check the right vent for Toy Bonnie and repeat. However, there are two downsides. If Toy Bonnie is in the vent after the blackout, pray to God, then flash Foxy and put your mask on. This entirely depends on how much your music box is winded, because if it was low, then you're practically dead. But if it is about to run out, just lift up the camera and wind. This does risk a death from Toy Bonnie, but you'll die anyways, so it's better to just risk it. The other scenario that can happen is if there is just straight up no blackout. If this happens, you can check the right and left vent and while flashing Foxy, and getting rid of the animatronics in the vents. Then you rinse and repeat. Even though it was a pretty good strategy, the RNG is just way too much for this night, and I would die many, many times. After drinking some water and taking a break to play some other games,
Welcome to our meeting. Are you into reading? No need for being coy. We'll improve your uptake. Have a freaking
I came back to the night and beat it first try, rewarding me with the Freddy mic and bringing me to the final and most infamous challenge in FNaF history. Bro, guys, while going back in FNaF 2 to see what the reward was for beating the night, I ended up getting freaking Shadow Bonnie. It's like a 1 in 1 million chance of happening. Bro, I was gonna take a screenshot of it, but then my game just crashed, bro. Like, it's so annoying, bro. It's actually...
Yes! Yes! Oh my god, yes, bro. Holy god. Yes. Oh my god, bro.
Bear deep.
Yes.
Bear. Golden Freddy mode, also known as 1020, is considered the hardest challenge from the core 6 games. This night includes every single animatronic at 20 AI, which guarantees they'll move every single 5-second interval. So once I got to this, I absolutely knew what I was in for and immediately started watching Ambience. Now, in Ambience's video, he uses the same strategy as in Fazbear Fever, so I chose to do the exact same thing. On my first attempt, I got to 2 AM before my camera was forced down and my music box was about to run out, so I flipped my camera and was killed by Toy Bonnie. But I was surprised by how far I got, so I thought, hey, you know what? Maybe this is easy. Boy, was I wrong. For the next hour, I continued to die over and over and over again. I even got to 5 a.m. once, but we died because of a glitch, I think. This was the longest I'd spent on a night, and I was getting pretty discouraged. I knew it wasn't entirely my fault, as this night was heavily reliant on RNG. Eventually, I decided I was done, so I got off for the day and went to sleep. The next day, I played for about 5 minutes and immediately quit because of not Toy Bonnie actually. Surprisingly, it was Foxy. These next few attempts, I would constantly die to Foxy, which made no sense to me because I was constantly flashing him, yet I would die to him over and over again. About an hour later, I got back on and played a bit, then I got off and went to sleep. I was incredibly discouraged and I was thinking about quitting. The next morning, for some reason, I just felt like I would beat it, so I got on immediately and started playing. After a couple attempts, I knew this just isn't working. I had to rewatch AM's video countless times and started to look at the comments, where people said that this took years to beat it. So I knew I couldn't afford to do that, and I knew this was taking way too long. So I started to research everywhere I could for new strats. The first one I found was called the braiding strat. Many people claimed it was a 99% success, but they said it was very hard to pull off, so I decided against it. The next strat was called -7. The animatronics can be stalled on cameras if you flash them. So what happens was you could quickly flash a couple cameras to stall a couple animatronics. This sounds great, but it was incredibly hard to pull off, with people claiming it took hundreds of attempts to beat. The next strat I found was called -3. This includes stalling the 20 animatronics on the show stage. Now I was really about to do this because it seemed pretty good, as Toy Bonnie was really the only thing killing me. But after rewatching it, I noticed it requires a glitch to complete and I decided against it. Then I came across a new strategy that would completely change my run. This strategy was created by Shooter25, a creator popular for completing hard FNaF challenges. At first, I looked over his strategy, as people said it didn't remove RNG completely. But after reviewing it again and tested it out in different scenarios, I realized this was the best strat I found. The strategy goes as follows. For the first 17 seconds, you wind the box, then put on your mask, flash, and repeat. At 17 seconds, you just sit and flash box until 21.5 seconds. This is when it starts. Basically, every single time you see a 1.5 second, you want to flip your camera and wind until you see a 5.5 second. When this happens, you drop your monitor down and there's about a 90% chance an opposite animatronic will be there. Remember how earlier I said that if an animatronic was in your office, then Foxy's timer would pause? This is where it becomes essential to the gameplay. After the blackout ends, you want to wait 0.75 seconds before lifting your mask and flashing in the hallway and checking the right vent. Then you wait until a 1.5 second and repeat. But with every strategy, there are scenarios where bad things can happen. First up, if Toy Bonnie is in your vent after a blackout, if this happens, it's actually quite simple. You wait, flash the hall until you see 5.5 seconds. Then you time it so Toy Bonnie can replace an opposite animatronic and in turn block Foxy. The reason this works is because the music box is mostly wound up the whole time. The next scenario is if there is no opposite animatronic but Toy Bonnie is there. If this happens, it's pretty much the same and you flash and then put on your mask until the 1.5 where the cycle is fixed. However, if you bring the monitor down and the opposite animatronics and Toy Bonnie are not there, this is where problems arise. You want to flash and deal with the animatronics in your vent until 1.5. But yeah, this can definitely take time. After watching the video and studying it a few times, I was ready to play. On my attempt, surprisingly, Toy Bonnie actually helped me. I know, surprising. He managed to line up perfectly to my scenarios and really helped me out. So you know what? Thank you, Toy Bonnie. After watching the strat on my first attempt, I ended up getting this run.
Yes! Oh my god, yes! Yes! Oh my god! Yes, bro! Yes! Yo! Yes! Oh my... Oh my god! Oh! Yes! Bro, 1020 mode! Oh my god, yes, bro! It's... Holy cow! Oh my... So yeah, 3 days and a collective 1 hour and 30 minutes later, I managed to beat 1020 mode. This was my hardest accomplishment, and I worked hard on this video, so it would mean so much if you guys subscribed. I don't like to beg for subs, but ever since I was a little kid, I dreamed of being a popular YouTuber. Obviously now, I don't really care as much, and I make videos for a select group of people, but I still want to have at least 10k in my YouTube career. If you guys could at least get me to 1.5k by the end of the year, I would be so thankful. Thanks guys. Also, shout out to Darkhold, thanks for being a fan. Let me know if I should do FNaF 3, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.